All right, fans, welcome aboard for another episode of 101. We're going to grab Justin Grant, two-time AMSOIL National USAC champ, to give us a little 101 on slide jobs. So through the magic of science, we're going to do this through 3D modeling, the slide job. We want you to explain, so go ahead and pick your two cars for your slide job.
Which one's me? Or
well, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever.
Okay, I'm just going to get the red and the, or I'll do the blue and the orange.
There you are. That's clever.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
So we just want you to explain to us what a slide job is. Like, how does the role of both drivers, what both drivers are thinking, the slider and the slidee, a test slider, what's a test slider? What are other things that go through your mind? When do you know when you can throw a slide job? When shouldn't you? Or and if you could just demonstrate, just so we know what you're talking about.
I like it.
Yeah?
We can draw a track right here.
Yeah, one, two. And actually, we just need a corner, basically, right? Yeah. Well, here, we're just going to fake it. So there's your corner. Does that work?
That works.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that's our surface there?
Yeah, that's our... Always doing the track work.
There we go. That looks good. Okay. So slider can be the blue car.
Okay.
Slide E can be the orange car.
Okay.
Get a little more room here.
Yeah, they're pretty big cars.
Yeah.
I was my budget let me get the bigger ones instead.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so I would say we're slide E, coming down, you're in line. Generally, the slide job really starts like off of, like if you're gonna call this turn 3, right, and that's turn 4, all this is gonna start developing like in the middle of 1 and 2.
Okay.
So slide E back in 1 and 2 is gonna, maybe gets tight in the center, right? Like he gets a little tight in the center, and then it kills some of his run off, right? Especially when it's slick to the curb,
right? And
you're not plugged in and get that good run off. It really stalls you out down the straightaway, right?
Okay.
So slider sees slide E get tight in the middle of 1 and 2. He knows now, ooh, like there's blood in the water.
This
right?
is it.
I'm gonna have a run down at the other end. So you're setting up, slide E's in here, and you know, as soon as you've got this kind of, you're far enough down in there that you can run straight across, right? Because if you try and start too soon, you slide here, right? So you're here to where you can kind of come out across like that.
Right through like the apex of the corner.
Right through the apex of the corner. Yeah, almost a little before. But you're just wanting to where you can take one straight shot. Like you can turn off of the backstretch wall and take one straight shot all the way across. That's kind of the best way to get run out there.
Right.
You know, and maintain as much grip as you can going across there. It's kind of hard to explain all this.
I know. Well, that's the thing. So my question, just to ask, so does the slidey at any point, does the slidey know he's going to get slid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, he knows it's coming.
So like I touched on back in, you know, if it's slick to the wall and you get tight in the middle of one end, you about ought to know you're getting slid at the other end. Okay. Right? Like even before you see this guy, you know you got a bad exit off of turn 2. And if anybody's close, they're gonna be sliding you at the other end. So maybe not everybody, but a guy that's raced a long time, he's probably got an idea that one of them's coming. So now, slidey here, he's getting in on the fence, right? When it starts getting slick into the wall, you got to slow down just a little bit getting in a lot of times, right? Okay. So when this guy kind of lifts and settles in, this guy's still wide open, running just wide open running across there. So now he's out there. This guy's plugged into the fence or the curb or whatever he's doing. Well, from right here, you know, you're sideways, right? This guy's fired in here. You can see out the left door. You know this guy's there when he's there. Right. And we do this enough that you know, you're looking out the left side. You see that guy. You see how much speed he's got. You know he's landing there. Right. The way, and now our entries and everything that we run, whether it's midget, whether it's sprint car, our entry speeds have gotten so high over the last, like, I don't know, 5-6 years, where you used to be able, this guy would be so slow getting into the corner that you used to be able to slide him pretty conservatively. Now our entry speeds are so high. To clear him, you've got to be wide open all the way across there, and then sliding. So now it's gotten to where to be able to clear this guy, you have to run the car so fast across there that there's almost no way to stop it once it's going.
Okay.
And so the old way of if you don't have the guy clear, you got to leave him a lane.
Right.
That worked because this guy was going slow enough on entry. You were able to slide him slow enough that you still had some control coming across. Now, Slider's primary concern is trying to keep it out of the fence when he gets there. There's no room to stop and leave a lane.
So basically that's where a lot of the issues come. Whenever people say about a bad slide job, that's where some of the issue comes from, is the fact that the entry speeds are so much higher that things are not necessarily out of control, but closer to being out of control.
You're a lot closer to being out of control, and the rate that you have to and outrun that guy is so high now that it doesn't leave that room for error on the other end of it. So it's really transitioned from when I first started racing, it was a lot on the guy throwing the slider to be responsible for us not crashing on the other end. With the way we race now, or the speeds we carry now on entry, it's really become on the guy getting slid, because he's the only one that has any option.
Right. So the slider is already committed at that point.
Slider from right here, slider is committed. He's going to the wall. Slide E has seen this guy from back here.
Right.
This guy knows what's happening all the way to here, right? So I like to say, the way I describe it a lot of times is right here, you see the slider coming, right? If you race at all, you have a pretty good idea of his trajectory and how long it's going to take him to get to that spot, right? So that's him, right? I say, that's his box. That is the slider's box. And right here, you saw him, he just phoned in his reservation for that box. That's his box now. If you're coming through here and you think, okay, I can get to the other side of the box before he gets to his box, drive around it.
Right.
Okay? If you think, I can't get through that box before he gets to that box, lift. You're out of the gas and trying to turn under.
Right.
Which is a great option.
Yeah.
Right? Lift.
Yeah, and more
turn
often
under,
than not, it works.
Drive away. Almost always works. What never works is seeing this guy sliding across. That's his box, and you say, I'm going to drive to that box and get plugged.
And that's the issue.
And that's the issue. And it always looks like it's this guy's fault, right? Because this is the guy that gets crashed.
Right.
And it's not 100%. Sometimes
this
there's a slider that's bad. But on a lot of well-executed sliders, you see guys get crashed when they should have known better. They should have known not to get crashed.
Right. And so to reiterate, in the old days, everybody talks about the sliders from the old days. Entry speed was much slower.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was on the person pulling the slide job, the slider, to keep himself away from the slidey or leave a lane to the outside if he didn't think he could clear.
Yeah.
But in the past 5-10 years, the pace has picked up so much on the entry speeds and that now it has become the slidee's job to determine whether or not he can get around the outside or if he needs to check up and let that slider go through, because no matter what happens, he's coming with so much speed, he's going to end up there regardless.
Yes. Yep. Okay. And right or wrong, whether you think it was right, wrong, whatever, if your car leaves on the hook, you were wrong. Right? When I show up to the racetrack, I've got two jobs. Win the race, drive my car back to my trailer. Right? If you get crashed by somebody sliding you, you can be mad all you want, but you didn't do your job. You didn't drive your car back to your trailer. And 9 times out of 10, if not more, you had an option not to crash.
Right.
You just didn't choose to exercise that option.
Okay.
And that's kind of the way. It's much more cutthroat, right, than it maybe used to be, but that's kind of what it's turned into. And I think it's what produces a lot of the super exciting races that you see now. But a lot of times it's on the experience of the guy getting slid. Like looking back to Turkey Night at Ventura last year. Everybody talks about, oh man, it was so cool to see two guys run a midget race so clean, right? With me and Tanner Thorson.
Right.
Well, me and Tanner are probably two of the most cutthroat midget guys out there, I'd say. And I wasn't doing him any favors, and he wasn't doing me any favors, but it looked really clean because we both know the game.
Right.
And we're keeping ourselves out of bad spots, and do it to where then it looks like, oh, that was a really clean race.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't any cleaner than anything else. It was the guy on the receiving end was good at that side of it.